What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Party Wagon podcast episode of We Have Amazing Friends. This week we do have a special guest, Justin, from the Epic Tales from the Sewers. How are we doing today, Justin?
Oh, doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing, man. I'm hanging in there.
Trying to bring that energy, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Justin and his buddy Eric, unfortunately, Eric couldn't make it here tonight. Maybe in the future we'll get Eric on. But they hit me up. They run a podcast called Epic Tales from the Sewers. You can check them out on YouTube as well. And what other streaming services are you guys on?
Oh man, iTunes, Deezer, like all the big ones. iHeartRadio, you know, and pretty much anywhere you get a podcast.
Hell yeah. For anybody that is actually watching this episode that consistently hit me up and ask why we're not on streaming services, it's because it's a pain in the ass. Justin here's going to help me out with it coming up soon.
I actually am going to help you with that, so yes.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get that going because it's work for me, so I got to figure it all out. So Justin's going to help out. So yeah, go check out his podcast. They talk about turtle stuff just like we do. Look at the fucking logo at the bottom. Turtles. So hell yeah. So just like kind of starting it off, Justin, what do you guys talk about during the podcast? You guys have like themes, you know, what do people expect?
Yeah, so there's two different types of shows, and it started out as I was going to do a synopsis of turtle stories, and I wanted to focus on two of them. My favorite turtles all time were like the Turtle Adventure comics and all that, like the TMNT adventures from like the 90s and the 80s and all that.
Beautiful cover art.
Oh, so good. Like,
the best cover.
You know, that's what got me into turtles. And I'm like, all right, I want to read this like it's an audiobook, you know, act it out and all that. So someone can listen to this and like listen to it with their kids and then they can get into it. And I'm like, all right, well, I should also do that with the current stuff because people don't know that the origin for the IDW series is way different than the cartoon or the movie or video games or anything else like that. It's like totally different. Right. It involves reincarnation and all that. So that's, and oddly enough, like then The Last Ronin comes out and all that. And I'm like, well, let's do The Last Ronin too. So the first type of show that we do is I'll actually go through and I'll do all the voices and I'll act out the plots to the IDW books, The Last Ronin, or TMNT Adventures. So, and I'm doing it sequentially. So I think I just released 14, 15, and 16 for TMNT Adventures.
All right. So, and if people are out there like me, I've been pretty open about it. I've got a reading disability, reading comprehension disorder. Like, it's a real thing. I still haven't even read The Lost Years yet because I'm scared because I got to read it multiple times to understand what's going on. But yeah, stuff like that like totally helps. Before I read the first of The Last Ronin, I listened to some random video. I don't even know if it was like the old Turtle Den or somebody had like read it or did a synopsis, and that was what really got me to just give it a try because like I was already into it. I was really excited, but you know, I can't read to save my life. I could read, I just don't know what the hell I just read. It's in the eyes and out the old noodle, like it's gone. So, you know, you're doing people like me a service, and I stoked on stuff like that. So
that's the thing too. And maybe you're sitting at your desk at work or something like that. You're looking for something to listen to. Maybe you're on a long car ride or anything else like that. And you're like, you know what? I would really like to just, you know, take myself out of it and listen to this. And, you know, I have one episode that's all 5 issues of The Last Ronin. So 1 through 5, you know, and then the second type of episode we do is we find turtle adjacent people. So it doesn't always have to be someone huge, but I mean, you know, like I got Freddie Williams II on, a great turtle artist. I had Bram Ravel on, who did the Jenica series. Kevin Eastman came on and did a segment for the show. We did, let's see, we had Mr. Tom Bowman on recently in December. So all of that, like we'll get turtle adjacent people. We had Kirk Cooks, who's a British fellow who makes disgusting pizzas for his YouTube. You know, and he released a cookbook, and it's all like he recreated all the 1987 series pizzas, and then he actually tries them, and it's like, oh my god, I got to talk to this guy. So, and that was incredibly interesting. And I mean, like some of the people that we have on, it's like we end up like getting a really cool relationship with. It's like I never would have known about like the art of Mike Ruth and Hugh Rookwood, these two guys from Canada. And I'm like, these guys are some of my favorite artists. Jason Flowers, who just did a cover for the Lost Years and all that. So it was like some of these guys are just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind
and
of
that's the other
crazy.
thing. We talk to them.
Yeah, it's crazy that like the people you meet along the way with these endeavors. It's like, growing up,
Look,
and like, not even just growing up, just recently, it's like one of my things that was always in my brain. It's like with the Mad Hatter, he's been blowing up. He's in the party wagon. His name is Near. It's always like, how do like the YouTubers know each other? Like, in a sense, it's like Near knows Jay Gladfelter, who does what was it, Toy Geek? He does Geek Dad Life. That's what it is. So like they know each other, and like you
oh,
always just see
okay.
these YouTubers that know each other, and then we get down to like Turtles, and I'm like, man, it's so cool that everybody kind of knows each other when it comes down to like the personalities and the voice, the voice actors and actresses, and then all of a sudden Tom and I are like, we can hit up Kevin Eastman at any point. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. It's like you just kind of like fall into it. And you just kind of get it when you're part of the community. I think it's just cool as hell, and just weird how it happens. So if anybody's like listening out
It's a
there,
chill, really chill community. Like when it's not about like you were talking earlier about like a toy collector. That's the dark side of this fandom. When
I
someone's like
agree.
trying to be, oh my god, I've
It's
got
the
to get
worst.
this one accessory to complete my hot shot or whatever. It's like, all right, man, you go ahead because you're gonna do whatever you can and screw over whoever you can to get a friggin' fire hydrant or some shit. And it's
Yeah,
like,
as someone who just got into vintage myself, I definitely understand that aspect of things. I just recently got I literally got it today. I'm pointing to it. I got the Invisible Man Mikey Playmates figure.
oh, no, did you get
He
him hard or loose?
I got him loose. I'm a loose collector.
Yep, me
And
too.
my buddy Dave, the TMNT collector on Instagram, posted it in the party wagon, and he was like, "It only
I
had the
follow him. Hey,
yeah,
Dave.
yeah, Dave rules. I'm gonna get Dave on here sometime soon. I'm always on
All
a
right.
show and tell, so I can get him on here. Here, I'll just show it
Nice.
off. Here, yeah, we'll grab it.
Oh,
There he is.
fantastic, man.
And like
Fantastic.
it doesn't have the back, which is fine because the way I'm going to show him off is it'll be like this. But I don't know if it does it any justice. He's not like, you kind of see it in his hand. He's not yellowing at all. The head a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit because
actually
of the
thinking that.
orange.
I'm
But
like, mine looks like crap in
yeah,
comparison.
I mean, this is like you just pulled it out of the box. That's what this is what it feels like and it looks like. There's no blemishes on it whatsoever. But yeah, like it's like you're saying with the toy community, like it's not just like the new NECA stuff. It's like the Playmate stuff. He posted this in the group. He was asking 200 for it, and that's 50.
What?
That was $50 less than the last like recent one sold on eBay, and people were just
Yep.
being jerks about it. And I was like, yo,
Oh yeah.
like, why are you like, yeah, I understand 200. Like, someone's like, it's crazy that you're asking $200, during a recession, and it's not a
No,
recession, by the way. It's
no.
look at everything that's going. It's, look at the numbers.
That's
It's
the
not. There's no
first thing that
recession.
happens. The
you
price
know,
bashing is the
yeah,
first thing that happens. Like, oh, and then you'll get someone in the DMs will be like, hey, but I'll give you 120 for it or something.
yeah, and
That's
it's like
literally what
crazy.
happens.
Yeah, like and I just started getting into this line. I just started playing or the vintage stuff, and I'm like, I want to get a couple of the Universal monsters because I grabbed Raph, Mummy Raph, and Donnie last week. So I'm like, might as well go into it, and I grabbed this one from version 2 and super hyped on it, and it's like there's no reason, like what you said, like the community is so amazing, and then you do have
Yeah.
like the dark side of the community is the collecting. And what I think is the problem is that people want stuff so bad. Like they really want something, but they just can't afford it. And that has nothing to do
Oh
with like
yeah.
them not having money. It's just like it's hard for them to justify the price at the end of the day. Like $200 is a lot of goddamn money. And they are
Yeah.
then upset that they can't just shamelessly spend that kind of money on those figures. And just so everybody knows, like I'm not rich. I get my turtle funds by like commissions. So anytime I'm doing a commission or I'm painting stuff, I'm doing a blue set right now, just for fun.
Oh wow.
Whenever I'm painting stuff, and I sell that sits in my PayPal, and then when something's ready, I could jump on it. Like that's what I do. Like I don't spend money on my bank account on my turtle stuff. So you just that's your tip. Find something that
So,
you're
that,
good at,
so now
sell
you're
it,
better
save
than
it.
me, huh?
Like just find something you're good at, save, sell it and save it.
Have you checked out this book yet?
Of course, Chris
Rad
Fawcett
Plastic.
did that. Chris is a good
Oh
dude.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Love
he's a,
that
he's a
book.
good dude. He was on the show.
Yep, I'd get mine. Mine's back there by the big boys. It's on the ground, kind of back there. I don't have a spot for it yet. I love that. I love that book. Have you? I've read
Great
that.
book.
I've actually sat down and read that book. I got
Yeah.
it. I got it and I was working. Like I was literally sitting here working and it came in the mail and I work from home and it was the hardest thing. It was the hardest thing to sit here and do my job and not bust that thing open and just see things that I've never seen. Because that's what it was. It was things I've
Oh my
never seen.
God.
Oh, it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. It's such a good book. It's such a good book. I love it. I would love to see if there's more out there and see if they can do a second edition maybe with more information, even if it's
He was
smaller.
talking about it. When we talked to him, he said that there's enough where he could keep it going and put like more interesting anecdotes and stuff like that, and like those little things about how he got like the cases of them and all that. Like he could get more of that stuff into it. He was saying, but it's just with him, it seems less is his interest in that, or does he do something else? Because I know he's already got a Star Wars book out there too. So it just maybe he would do something else. Maybe he would do like, hey, this is Biker Mice from Mars. That would be cool. I'd love a Bucky O'Hare one. That'd be
Dude.
awesome. Yeah.
Where is he? There he is. You can kind of see him. Blinky.
Oh, AFC Blinky. Nice.
Yeah, man. I like it's literally it's gonna be shiny. I got Raphael, right? It's
Nice.
I got this this is from '07, dude. I got Blinky on the inside. I regret the link because I'm a big Zelda fan, but fuck Nintendo. And then I got Earthworm Jim over here. Also,
very cool.
Screw Doug TenNapel. And then I've got Ludwig from Mario over here. Also, fuck Nintendo again. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of tattoos that are just of my childhood. I've got what do I have on my leg? So this is the funny. All right, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. People that know me might know the story. So Tom Bullman, who runs Bull Airs, used to be a tattoo artist. Used to do a lot of tattoos. Literally world famous tattooer.
Oh yeah.
And like best friend of mine, and he hits me up. And one of the things that Tom likes to do is when he used to tattoo, he doesn't do it anymore. Is that when there was something new coming out, Tom is very smart. He's a very smart man when it comes to marketing. You line up a tattoo before a major announcement around that theme. So Ghostbusters Afterlife was supposed to be getting a trailer at one point before the pandemic. And maybe it was during the pandemic. I can't remember. And he had a Ghostbusters tattoo lined up. Hits me up and he goes on a Sunday morning at like 9 a.m. He's like, dude, my guy canceled. Is there, do you want to get a Ghostbusters tattoo? And I'm like, I'm not a Ghostbusters guy. Like, I like Ghostbusters. I'm not in the fandom. And I was like, whatever, man. When do you need me? He goes, can you come down like an hour or two? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll be there soon. Like 9 a.m. on a Sunday. And I don't know what the fuck I'm getting. I've got an Egon Spangler this goddamn big on my shin.
Wow.
From my knee to my ankle. And I'm 6'1", so I got a big shin. I don't even know if I can even get it into the frame. Holy crap.
That's so cool.
Here,
Yeah, I am a big Ghostbusters guy.
You can kind of see his head.
Oh, that's fantastic. I collect spores, moles, and fungus.
Dude, isn't that nuts? I didn't even know what I was getting. He just I get there and he goes, this is what I'm throwing on you. I'm like, all right, stuck with me for life. Literally from my kneecap to my ankle.
That's what friends are for, man.
Yeah. And then he did a Futurama ship on my side, the other side of that leg. So I got a Futurama ship on there.
Yeah,
a lot of little
Planet
nerdy
Express things. It's funny too because I wasn't familiar with Tom and Ink Master and all that. My kids got me into it. They're like, "Oh, we love the show," and I'm like, "Oh, is that Dave Navarro?" I'm like, from Jane's Addiction and Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that. And they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "The host, guys." But they're all about the show. They love it. They love the drama aspects of it, and they love like the artistry and all that. And and they're like, "Oh my God!" When I found out who Tom was, I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" And all that. They're like, "Oh my God!" It's like like one of the biggest people I've ever talked to. I'm like, "This is cool, man. I'm glad you guys are so into this." And we watched his whole season, just in preparation of it. I'm like, "Oh, cool!" And they were asking me questions to ask him about like the show and all that, and because I don't have tattoos, I never found the right one, so it never happened.
It's got to feel right, man. It's got and like I haven't gotten a new tattoo since Egon, and it's been 2-3 years. Like I got half sleeves, but like I got those back when I was like I don't know, it was like 10 years at this point.
You think you get more?
Oh yeah.
You would? Yep.
Yeah, I got I'm not gonna get so they call it the warped tour bodysuit or something like that, where you only get tattoos on your like below your sleeves and below your shorts, and then your skin is just like your stomach and your back is bare. I'm not gonna go that route because like my first tattoo was across my whole back, so
Oh, no kidding.
I got a back tattoo. And I put it on my back because I knew I was gonna regret it when I got older. I got it when I was 18, and I did. I got the Hylian family crest from Zelda on my back like an idiot. And that was '05, but it's an oldie. But yeah, well, the whole thing with tattoos is like you just gotta find the right one. You gotta feel right about it. Sometimes it's fun to just kind of go in and get a small thing if it means something. I've got a stormtrooper helmet on my ankle with the pink ribbon for breast cancer because my grandmother passed away of breast cancer, of just cancer in general. She had like 5 times. But lung cancer took her out, but she had breast cancer twice. So I got a breast cancer tattoo and fun little things that kind of mean a lot to you. I'm not a big Star Wars guy either. I love Star Wars, but I'm not like that with like how I am with Turtles. You just got to find the right one. And you got to find the right artist. One of the pro tips that anybody watching this or listening will know is like, if you find a specific tattoo, like that you like a style, because there's all different kinds of styles, always find the right artist that is good at that style. Don't try to get them to do a different style that they might not be good at. That's just really what it is. And then you'll be very happy with what you get. Like Tom, he called it tattoons because they're like cartoony. They're like a new age style. That's just what he's good at. You try to get him to do anything else, he's good at them, but he's like really good at tattoos. That's what he did. That was the first tattoo I got from him. I won this in an Instagram contest, and that's how I met Tom.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I just did one of those tag 3 friends or some bullshit, and I won.
Yeah, one of our co podcast hosts of the Weekly Warp Pipe, Russ.
Russ Lyman.
Yeah, Russ. You know Russ. He
Russ.
has a tattoo. He was telling us about that he got from Tom.
Yeah. I met Russ a year ago this past Monday, I believe. February 11th, I think, is when I met Russ. Russ and his buddy drove up here. We filmed the toy hunting episode.
Nice.
I broke my tooth in the middle of filming.
Oh!
In the middle of filming. Almost died. Almost passed out from pain.
Were you biting a figure to see if it was real? It's like, pink, like Underdog? Yes.
Man, I wish. I was talking. We were at a toy shop. I was talking to the owner who I also knew. We were just talking, and somehow my tooth just broke. And I was like in severe pain. And then I sweating. It was awful. I had to go to my car. It was the worst. Dude, it was the worst. There's nothing like being in the middle of filming and having like an emergency. And it was the worst.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I totally get that. I've been there. We've been doing podcasts on and off for like 6 years at this point.
Damn.
So it's like I record probably like 4 times a week. So just like for various stuff. So it's like, yeah, every once in a while it's like, oh crap, I have to shit. It's like, or something, or like something comes up and it's just like inevitable. It's, you do it enough. Dude, and it's like
something happens, man.
Haven't lost a tooth like that yet, but I mean, I've definitely lost a tooth. Like, I don't know.
It's fake now. I got a fake one in there now. Got it crowned.
I had one punched out, but never had it.
Oh yeah. I haven't had a whole tooth. I've had a tooth right here. One of your like canines, whatever they are. I got it kicked. Out of my. I kicked it and cracked it. I got into my only fight. Got it kicked out of my mouth. It was awesome.
Oh, that is kind of cool. So were you a martial arts guy or?
No. So fun thing. It's gonna sound like a tough guy moment. Very high pain tolerance for me. For the most part, most things. And just got into a fight that was dumb. It was just a really dumb thing. I'm not going to go into it. And I got jumped by 3 kids, and one of them was like huge, and he kicked my tooth in. And then the dude that I had a problem with swung at me after that, and I beat the living shit out of him.
Nice.
To where they almost had to press charges on me because I beat the shit out of them. So it was.
Oh wow!
I was like a teenager, dude. I was like 16.
So the other 2 backed off at that point?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was funny. I was a skateboarder growing up. I was like a very respectful skateboarder. And like just some dude was just talking shit about me, and I was like, you need to stop that. And then he broke a skateboard, tried to steal stuff from me, and I'm like, you gotta stop. Then he confronted me about it, and I got jumped. I was like, cool, that's great, awesome. I'm not even spinning this. Like literally how it is. I'm just a nice guy. Like I don't want confrontation. And I I had that happen, and then they had to call the police, and police thought that I beat the police thought that I did more than I really did because I hit them that hard. I got long ass arms, man. I've been 6'1" since I was like 10, so
You're like, I just wear this better than others.
I got reach. I got reach. Holy hell!
Yeah, I got into a fight in a comic store. It's no longer there in Southington, Connecticut. It was Kevin's Comics, and they were playing Magic, and I'd never played Magic. Nothing against anyone who does and all that. That's absolutely fine. It just wasn't my thing. And I was hanging out with my friend, and my friend was talking shit to this kid. And, this kid had just bugged me because his head was completely shaved except for he had bangs. It was the dumbest looking haircut I've ever seen in my life. And he says something to my friend, and then my friend said something back, and then this kid starts a fight with me, and he goes, "What'd you say about my dad?" And I'm like, I don't even know what he said. I have no idea what's going on here. And so something in my head just goes, "Your dad's a baby." Yeah, a baby. I literally said it like that, like John Lovitz.
It sounds like a movie.
Yeah, no, it's totally surreal. And then he goes to throw a punch, and I literally duck it like Neo. I just kind of get out of the way, then I grab him by the shirt and just start punching him and throw him on the ground, punching him like this. My friend is laughing uncontrollably and spastically, and it's all on tape. And my friend, the comic store owner, still has it, and I can watch it. And I think I was about like maybe 14, 15 or something like that. But I was like, oh my God, I literally destroyed this guy, and it's all on evidence.
That's great. I dabbled in the Magic a little bit. What I was in college, and what's really funny about this is college for me was I started college in like 05, right? I want to say like 06 was when I was like paying attention to stuff. And there was this, I just told this story to somebody the other day. Oh, I told it to my fiance. I told it to April the other day, which is, oh, by the way, April's my fiance / wife. How the coincidence that I got an April and I'm a huge Turtles fan.
That is quite the coincidence.
Dude, it's April 2.0. I dated another April back in 2010.
You have a problem. That's
it's a coincidence. But back in like college, and now this is gonna sound bad. I'm always like bad with words on things, but picture your stereotypical like nerdy Magic person, like straight up fucking loser status.
I can smell them now.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like people. I'm nothing against them, but like I'm just the stereotype. There was these kids in college.
A lot of those guys that are pretty nasty. Like not just nasty, they smell mad, but like they treat people badly, and if kids ever go to play against them, they like are super rude.
Yeah, just really bad personalities. Yeah, and like a lot of them were like that. We'll just say. But like, there's a reason I'm mentioning that. So when I was in college, there was this group of kids that would always skip class. They literally were paying to go to school, to go to college, and they would never go to class. They would sit in the lunchroom and they'd play Magic all day. And the girl that I ended up dating in college knew a lot of them, right? And she was just not a fan. So and this whole time I was an assistant manager / working on manager at GameStop. That's what I did before my current position, my current job. Well, anyway, all my friends at GameStop, who were my friends growing up, I got them all jobs there. They were all into Magic. They loved Magic. And they're like, Gary, you got to start playing. So I bought a deck. We built it. Everything was good. It was a black deck. And I had it at at the time we lived in an apartment. And I had to hide it. And then she found it. And I came home from work one day, and it was like she caught me cheating. And she's like, what is this? And I was like, I don't know how it got there, you know.
And
somebody must have left it. She goes, if I ever catch you playing this, I'm leaving. I'm not even making this up. And it was a brand new deck. It was a black deck, and then it got my buddy Juan had helped me to we added some cards to it to make it playable, and it was like really cool. I never got to play it. We literally put it back in the box, and I had to hide it. And then fast forward to 2010, 2011, I'm working at Microsoft. And everybody there played Magic, and I ended up gifting it to a friend because I had never played and I couldn't play it, and I just kind of gave it away. Fast forward to 2020, pandemic, we're all just hanging out, and my buddy's like, "Yo, come over and play Magic," and they taught me how to play Magic then and there, and I'm actually very good at Magic. So that's all. I played 2 games. That's it. That's my Magic story. I've never played.
Do you still play even though you just played 2 games? Or
no? I have an interest to play. I don't like card games. I don't like board games. I'm a video game guy. I love I've got my Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, all shit back there. Like I like if I play it like as like a video game, I love it. Like I could play like the card games all day. Physical stuff, I don't like. You gotta remember the rules. There could be mistakes. There's too much thinking involved with that kind of stuff, and I just don't really like it.
Kind of like
So
D&D. D&D's like similar to that.
yeah,
So,
I hate the concept of D&D. There's just so much that goes into it. There's a VR game that's called like Demio, and it's literally VR D&D, and you move your little guy, and it's like awesome looking. I want to play the shit out of that because I love video game stuff, man. That looks so fun. So
it's just, they say different strokes for different folks. It's like I've played D&D in the past, and I mean, the only card games I really played was like Illuminati way back in like 96, 97 or something like that. Steve Jackson's Illuminati. But like with D&D, if you've got good people that'll help you through it, and they're not what you call like a rules lawyer, like, oh, you can't do that. It's like, and then you've got the other people who are like, try like, oh, I'm gonna do this and max my character out so he can't be hurt and blah blah. I'm like, where's the fun? Where's the fun in any of this? It's like I literally went through a game where we stopped a dragon by shoving like a something that we caught in like a bucket up its butt, and it killed the dragon. And like, like, okay, I didn't expect that, but that's what somebody did, and I'm like, all right, cool.
yeah, dude.
We instead of just like trying to slash at it, I'm like, well, at least it was interesting. It's memorable.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. I got a close friend named Mike who owns a video game store here in Syracuse, New York, called Voltage Video Games. But he made a side business that he works out of his house called Viridian Gaming Supplies. I think Viridian Gaming Supplies, and he makes these little things called status rings. They're little O-rings, and they have the status effect around them, so they're color coded and they have the name of it. So
cool.
Like asleep or stunned or poisoned, and you can just throw them around your character if you're playing D&D. So you don't have to like, I'm not poisoned. It's like you got the status ring on there. We know it's a situation. And
That's a great idea.
Dude makes fucking tons of money on that, and he sells the dice for it all, and dude makes so much money doing that. Like specifically during the pandemic, everybody was playing stuff. Yeah, like he's killing it, like absolutely killing it on
That's
that
so
endeavor.
cool.
So there are people there, like I'm the odd man out. I think it's dumb as shit, but people love it. So
well, I mean, it's like I was saying, it's like some things you'll be interested in and some things you won't. I just started up with these folks who are doing some Canadian guys. They're doing an RPG Ninja Turtle system. So we're playing that, and we just did a live stream 2 weeks ago. I don't play with them all the time because I don't have a chance. But first time I played as Mondo Gecko, and the second time I played as future Donatello.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just interesting. It's like, okay, cool, and they give you the rules, and they're super simple. You have like 6 things that you can do. Otherwise, you can move 30 feet at a clip, and you've got your RPG. Just how Donnie talks. Just figure it out. I'm like, all right, cool, and that's fun. But I'm way more interested in the turtle aspect than something that's like, all right, you're a dragon knight, and figure it out. I'm like, it's not my thing.
I bet if it was like in a mythos, or a world that I liked, like turtles, I might do that. I might actually like enjoy doing something like that. I picked up a board game from Target a couple of weeks ago, the Gargoyles one. It was on clearance for like
that's awesome.
It's like $9 or $10.
It's worth it just for the minifigs.
Yeah, the minifigs are gorgeous. Like they're awesome. Yeah. And people probably know Randy Falk with NECA. He's a huge Gargoyles fan. Tom actually made him a pair of Goliath shoes. So check those out.
Cool.
Tom posted about them. But yeah, he's a big Gargoyles fan. So I bought it and I was like, this is sick. I immediately texted Randy. I was like, dude, you got to check this out. I know you might like this. And it's like $9 or $10. I think it was like $8.99, and it was originally $40 or $45. So I've got to buy it. I've opened it up. I've taken a look at it, which looks really cool. I haven't been able to play it yet because no one's been to my house since I moved in. Like no one comes over because I haven't invited. I'm still doing stuff.
That's my issue. Like, what do you do? Who do you play with? It's like the only experience that I've had is you find a chat with people who are interested in that, and you play online. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Everything's online nowadays. But... Yeah, I mean, all my friends and I play Xbox every single night. It's like we're always doing that kind of stuff. So we never really have people come over. We used to do game nights back literally before the pandemic. April and I we finished our basement, and we used to have people come over, and we used to have game nights. And the whole idea was to have them over for board games, and everybody would come over, and we just end up playing Jackbox Party Pack on Xbox.
Exactly.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, everybody's had their phones out. We're doing our thing. We're eating pizza. You know, we're having fun. But we never like had board games, and we've got a lot of board games. Like we bought so many with the anticipation of people coming over and playing, and
It just didn't happen.
yeah, yeah. April hates people coming over. Like she doesn't want. She's what was it, introvert, and she doesn't like to barely likes to leave the house unless we're going shopping. Doesn't like anybody coming to the house. House is a mess if there's like one ply of toilet paper like pulled off the toilet paper a little bit, like hanging down. House is in an uproar. So
That's good. It sounds like then you guys kind of balance each other out.
yeah, we are absolute complete opposites of
Yeah, that's why it works.
absolute complete opposites, and it works.
So instead of having people come over to play board games, you have people come over to watch the first Turtles movie, and then you're like, hey, okay, next one's going to be Secret of the Ooze, then we're going to skip the third one, and maybe we'll do Out of the Shadows. You know, like you could do anything like that. Like TMNT 2007. You know, we're having people over to do that.
Yeah, I got a buddy named Brandon. He's younger than me by 7 years, actually, 6 or 7 years, and he's never seen the first movie. And and he's a 80s horror fan. Like he likes the practical effects. He's not a huge CG guy. He really like finds a lot of I don't know the word I'm looking for. He just really likes like real shit. Put it that way. He just likes the real stuff. And I keep telling him like, you got to come over and see Turtles. So I watched his cat while he was on tour a couple of years, like 2 years ago. He's a musician, so he was on tour, and I had to go watch his cat. So I took care of it, and he goes, "What do you want? Like, how much do I want?" Because I was having to do it with my dogs when we go on vacation, and I was paying him. So he's like, "What do you want? What do you want for it?" I'm like, "Dude, just come over and watch Turtles with me. That's all I ask." It's been 2 years. He still doesn't come over and watch Turtles,
No.
and I've watched his damn cat like 3 other times, so for free. So
And drop the DVD off at his house and be
Yeah,
like,
right.
hey, here you go. Or even like if that's the excuse, be like, hey, I just sent it to you on Vudu or something.
Right?
There's no on
he's-
Netflix.
He's
For
got to
crying
come
out
over.
loud.
He's got to come over here soon because this just came in the mail for him because his fucking controller keeps dying. So I bought him a damn battery pack so he can, have his controller stop dying with those AA batteries.
See, in D&D, you'd be the cleric then. You know, it's like you're healing the controller.
Dude, I'm always support class. No matter what
Yep.
the hell's going on. We've been playing Monster Hunter Rise on Xbox at Game Pass.
Oh, wow.
Love that game. We've already got all of us already have like over 100 hours into it, and like I've been trying to play the support class to keep people alive and do all that stuff. I don't know, man. I always enjoy that stuff. I like being the guy that gets yelled at when everybody dies. So,
What the heck?
except
That's
for
so
World of
funny.
Warcraft. I do play World of Warcraft, and I do not play a support class in that. It's probably the one thing I don't do a support class in.
I tried that game one time, and I want to say it was like 2010 or 9, something like that, when they had like the Mr. T grenade. When
Yeah,
everybody
Mr.
had.
T grade. Yeah.
So way back to that,
That
and
was
I tried it.
The night, they call it the Night Elf Buzzhawk or something like that.
Yeah,
Or-
something like that. And
It's some
Mr. T
made-up
was
thing.
actually in the commercial, I think.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
And I'm playing the game, and I'm like, oh, I have to get a job in this game? What the hell? I'm like,
It's a thing, man. I've been playing it since it came out. I mean, I don't really play it. I'm about two months. I haven't touched it now since I played it when the expansion came out. Haven't played it since after I maxed my character out. But I played a lot of that. I have a lot of hours in that game. It is ungodly, but thankfully I'm not addicted. I can just kind of dip my toe in every once in a while, and then get out.
well, good, because I know between that and EverQuest, I've heard people's like relationships actually just explode over that, and they're like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
much like Magic with your previous girlfriend there,
Yeah, April 1.0 and I used to play World of Warcraft together, and she was a healer, and I was a paladin. Actually, I was a melee based paladin. I think it's retribution is what they called it. I'm a fucking nerd, by the way. Okay, I know the ins and outs.
I know what Paladin is.
Just like
It's
the
all right.
just like the Mr. T grenade was right outside the Valley of Trials in Senjin Village. If you played on the Horde, that's where you bought it from. Remember that shit from like 20 years ago. But almost it was like 18 years ago. But yeah, she was always a healer. And I would always scream at her when I would die in the middle of a raid. she was the one keeping me. She was the one keeping me alive. Yeah, dude, that game is something else. That shit will ruin relationships.
Yeah, I play like now the Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and the Cowabunga collection. I'm playing that a lot. I guess I'm a masochist because I like playing that the NES Turtles game,
The first
with the
one.
dam level and all that. Like I like that one a lot. You know,
Yeah, not so much me. That's a lot of bad flashbacks for me. The,
I get it. I totally get it.
I mean,
But
I
it's
am. I mean, like that's my body. That's my portal to my.
oh
You know what I mean?
yes,
Like, when people say like when there's people on the internet, they're just like, oh man, that dam level and the water, and they always like,
dam level ain't nothing.
it's like for me, like I get the flashbacks, like the non flashbacks, because I'm 30. I'll be 36 in May. I was
You're
born in
like the
'87,
horror.
and I played that like all like early memories NES, man. I said this on another podcast. I've obsessed. I always played video. It's been my thing. Video games have always been my passion, and I played that Turtles game so much. I never beat it. Still haven't beat it to this day, the first one, but there's just so much like locked in my brain that like brings back non-flashbacks. So it's like really
Oh
it's
yeah.
tough for me to jump back into that first one.
It's and for me, it's like everybody gets to the dam level, so that's why they're like, oh, that's hard. But it's like, have you tried to get to the Technodrome level, like past that, where literally you have to go and like get down this little tiny 1 inch cube, and if you can't get down that, like literally fire comes across the screen and kills you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's ridiculous.
yeah, it's like or like spikes from either side. It's like try that, and then talk to me about the dam level. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm at a point in my life where like we're all adults. We have limited time on when we can do things. So like if I'm gonna
Exactly.
play a video game, I'm gonna play a game that I'm not gonna like get 3 hours into, die, and lose my progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with stuff
And
like that, I
that's
can't.
why
I
I
just
like
can't do it.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
You talk
that
about
game's so
something you
good.
can drop into, and it's like I could beat that whole game in like a couple hours if I need to.
Yeah, I got it on my
Like
Xbox. I got it on my phone. I got it on my Switch.
yeah, I
I got
saw
three
Netflix has
phones.
it on your phone now, right?
Yeah. If you have a Netflix subscription, you can get it for free right on your phone. It's just open up the Netflix app and you can go to there's like a Netflix games bar that nobody knows exists. And they put Shredder's Revenge on there. It's awesome.
They used to have those secret menus too that you could look at and be like, wow, there's like an Italian Western section. Where did this come from?
They're
It's
still
like, oh
there.
wow,
Those weird menus are still there. Because I don't like what they always recommend.
yeah.
For me personally, I genuinely only watch biographies and like anything that's educational. That's all I watch. And then I watch Vikings Valhalla because I'm Scandinavian, so it's like I kind of have to. But yeah, that's what I do. I only search that sidebar and I always look for like documentaries or stuff that I can learn from. I'm a fucking nerd, so I like to learn a lot of shit. I got a lot of catching up to do. There's a lot of TV shows. Like I still haven't even finished. I watched the first episode of The Last of Us. Which is incredible, and I haven't had time to go back and watch it because I'm either like watching a documentary or I'm playing a video game because that's what I do on my free time. I'm playing Dead Space right now, the remake.
Oh, Dead Space is so good. Yeah,
Very
I
good.
love Dead Space.
Very good.
I made it through the whole game using just the regular plasma cutter, and I'm like, why do I need any of these other guns? I
That's
just,
what I'm doing right now.
dude, I just turn the thing sideways half the time, and I'm like, well, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm not great at video games, but I just remember that.
You take out one of the necromorph's legs so he falls, and you just walk up and stomp him. That's what I've
Oh,
been
you
doing.
know, it's like I figured that out early.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, what do you do? Well, I'm gonna shoot off that thing that's actually shooting at me on its back. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I just got to the point. I'm like 3 hours in. I've got those little babies with the three tentacles that come out.
oh
Um,
yeah,
those suck, man. Those are the worst because like you got to shoot the tentacles to kill them, and if you don't, they're running around the fucking walls and shit, and you're just shooting them. And you're wasting ammo, and it's just such a nightmare. And like I'm trying to conserve my ammo, and I've got all this ammo for another gun that's like a plasma rifle or something I
yep.
recently got, and I just got the buzzsaw, and like I'm not gonna use any of those, so I
I
just
thought
fill
the
it in my
buzzsaw
inventory.
was cool at the
Yeah,
time, but I did not like it. You know,
yeah. It's cool when you've got people lined up, but I think there's an achievement on Xbox. I think in general there's always been an achievement even on the remake where if you play the whole game without swapping your weapons out, you get the achievement for that. So I'm gonna try to do that because it's a good game and I'm really good with that one gun. It's like a pistol, so I enjoy it.
it's super easy to use, and I mean, especially when they're like holding you up in the air and like trying to pull you out of the airlock. Then you just like turn the thing sideways, and you're like, ah, I gotcha. You know,
Dude, it's so good. All the
yeah,
advancements
no,
in it
with
are
it.
so good. Everything they've done with it's incredible. Speaking of video games, there's been no. Have you heard anything since since it got announced about this AAA Turtles game coming out, there's still like nothing on that, is there?
No, I mean, would it surprise you if it's going to be a Mutant Mayhem thing? With the Seth Rogen movie. I mean, it's not going to shock me if that's what happens.
Right. But how a there's aren't a lot of movie tie-in games anymore, right? Like they don't really do a lot of movie tie-ins. They're usually standalones. I feel like we've gone past that fad for the most part. And then B, I wouldn't consider a movie tie-in game a AAA.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to get? Is it going to be a Last Ronin game? Because that would be amazing.
Yeah, like that'd be sick. Oh my god, that'd be
Yeah.
a dream. Because I'm like a big like Soulsborne guy. I love like Elden Ring and everything. If I got something like that or like a Ninja Gaiden or some shit like that
Oh, Ninja Gaiden would be
with
cool.
like a Turtles
Yeah.
IP, that'd be awesome. Like having a Last Ronin game. So yeah,
Would it be like a was it not? I was going to say Temco Deception, but that's like way back. I'm thinking of like I guess Ninja Gaiden, but not like that sort of like where you have an animated character in an environment like Sega used to do. I'm thinking of more like open world Spider-Man Arkham sort of style
yeah,
with the way that they interact rather than just like okay, you're on a track and you can run through stuff.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, like something like Elden Ring's an open world, explore.
I've yet
Do
to
what you
play
gotta
that
do.
one.
It's
It looked cool,
it's
but
good. It is.
no,
It
nobody's
is.
got like video on it and all that. And everyone I've asked about it that I listen to about games, they're like, "Oh, what about Elden Ring?" They're like, "It's awesome, man." I'm like, "And how come there's no friggin' video on it?" You know?
Go watch Game Grumps. Aaron and Dan did it. There's a lot of like Twitch streamers that do a lot of stuff in the Elden Ring, but I would do the two that I watch. I watch Game Grumps and I watch Oni Plays because I like comedy. I like the funny stuff. So those are the two that I would recommend if anybody like wants to go watch something Elden Ring related because it's funny and they kind of goof off a little bit. And Aaron's semi good at games, so you're not getting super frustrated watching him die all the time. But you got to go into that game with an open mind. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's a Dark Souls based game,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's actually the easiest of like.
Well,
all
I'm
Souls
hoping.
games. No, that's a lot easier. It's very very easy. Bosses are still tough, but like the gameplay is really fun, and it's like, they just kind of throw you in a world, do whatever you want. It's kind of like there is an end game. There's a story to it, but it's like very convoluted. Like you have to pay attention, you have to read stuff. It's not a game that you're going to play for narrative. You play the game so that you can just become a badass and just destroy things as like with one shot. Like that's kind of what you
That's
do.
what I did in Witcher, I think. It's and I mean that one obviously had like a good linear story to it, but then it's like afterwards you're like, all right, well I'm just gonna go around killing like fish people and stuff,
Yeah.
ridiculously.
Yeah, I recently restarted The Witcher 3 because I got the next gen update, so I've been messing around with that, and it made me want to go play Elden Ring more because the thing with like they're very similar in game style. I would say with
Oh,
the way that it's
good.
built,
Third person and
third person, whole 9 yards. But I mean, way less story in Elden Ring. Like there's no story at all like they do in The Witcher. It's kind of like think of The Witcher, but better combat, like really refined. More options for combat, different weapons. You could do only magic and stuff, but really just being thrown in a giant world and being able to explore just what you want to do. Think of like how awesome Skyrim was 12 years ago, and that game just sucks now. It did not stand the test of time. But think of like that awesome freedom of exploration, but better. That's how Elden Ring is. It got Game of the Year like by a lot of outlets, man. So
yeah, it did, but
worth it.
it's still one of those things. I'm like, oh, I just want to see someone play this, and it's like months and months go by, and I'm like, how come nobody's talking about this damn game and everyone's talking about Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, Elden Ring was big, but the reason I'm spending so much time on this is because there is turtle related content. You can look like a Ninja Turtle in that game.
Oh, sweet.
You can essentially change your skin color to green. You can have I think you have a turtle shell. You have a turtle shell shield that you can store on your back, and then you could like have a bandana. It's so stupid. There's videos. Just check out like Elden Ring Ninja Turtles or some shit
Oh,
on
wow.
YouTube. It's so funny. God,
That's
it's
crazy.
a riot. I love that stuff. But yeah, Ninja Turtles technically in there. But yeah, AAA man, like let's get a Last Ronin game. I'll be stoked on that. Ben Bishop, you know who you are. If you're watching, make it happen.
Stop ducking my calls, Ben.
I love Ben. Ben rules.
Good dude. Good dude. Like he's the only artist I know that has his own community that literally shit talks him. So It's
Because he
just all
killed the
the time.
turtles. He killed the fucking turtles, man.
That's what happens, you know.
I still got to read Lost Years. We're recording
So
this.
I had some stuff here, so I was going to bring up about Lost Years, but I'm not going to because it doesn't seem like it wouldn't be fair because you haven't read it, and I don't want to say anything about it. But I will say this: your new issue is going to be out on 3/15. So,
Oh, is it?
and
Okay, that's good.
Ben just said that he finished the pages for issue 3
Saw that
yesterday.
Yep.
So that's good. We know that we're not going to be behind on his end and all that, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they're doing really good with this one because the last one felt like it took forever for the last Ronin. But remember, like this is he just finished. He did finish book 3, drawing, inking, I believe it was, or just drawing them. He's gonna be having a baby here soon. So congratulations to Ben. Like he's gonna take some time off, and hopefully it doesn't push things back. But if it does, whatever. Dude's having a child. Fuck yeah, like it's huge. Like that's awesome. Like that's so big. And did you see in the news today or yesterday? Kevin Eastman was talking about a Last Ronin 2 book?
Yeah, I did because we're getting a 5-issue series for the Lost Years, right? And then we're getting the Lost Day, which is a one shot, right? So after that, they're talking about doing something extra. And I mean, to me, when you see the designs for these turtles all grown up or teenaged or whatever size they are, the new turtles that they have, that's probably where they're going with it. And I mean, I'm here for whatever they have. There's like 5 different Turtles books right now, that are, and IDW is just like, well, we have this, and we lost GI Joe, we lost Ghostbusters, we lost Gem and the Holograms, like whatever they had, like Transformers, all of it's gone. All the IP that they had. I think X-Files they got rid of too. I'm like, wow. And My Little Pony, I'm like, all right, all that stuff is gone. What do they have? Well, they have Turtles, and they have independent creator-owned titles right now. So, may as well make that money while they can.
Yeah, Turtles is like it's still big, still sitting in that renaissance. Let me ask you this, right? Because I haven't read the book yet. This is going to go into possible spoiler territory. If anybody's like watching that hasn't done anything last Ronin, just here's your time.
Old.
Here's your time.
Yeah.
Skip. So you've obviously read the first issue, right?
Yes. Yep.
Is the first issue specifically tied around the new turtles, the 4 new babies or teenagers or whatever, or are there parts of it where they go flashbacks to Michelangelo's journey back from going to Japan to find Donatello and Splinter? Essentially, what I'm asking is, when I spoke with Kevin over the fall, there was supposedly a series coming out that was supposed to take place specifically because remember Michelangelo in the Last Ronin, he goes to Japan, and that's when he finds out that Donnie and Splinter have been killed, and then the rest of them he's on his way back to Manhattan or New York when the others have gotten killed. There's supposed to be a series that documents that time, those years where he's coming back from Japan over to New York. I thought that was the Lost Years, but I haven't read it yet. Is that what the series is, or is it specifically on these 4 new turtles?
It's both.
It is both.
It's set up like the Last Ronin, where they had like the 2 different art styles, right? And technically, Last Ronin had 3 because you had the Escorza brothers who did the main story narrative. You had Ben Bishop who did the flashbacks. And then you had Kevin who did various flashbacks just for Mikey. So in this one, of S.L. Gallant, who is doing the regular story art, and then you have Ben Bishop who's doing the future story arc, where it's like, okay, Casey Marie Jones and April are raising this new generation of turtles. So, and it's one of those things. And so to answer your question, it's both.
It's both.
Okay, and
it's
exactly
that's good.
What you were looking for in terms of that, where this is Michelangelo and this is his journey and all that. And then here's the other thing. What they're doing is they're probably setting up the Ronin verse, whatever they call it, Last Ronin 2, with these characters.
Which will be awesome. The reason I asked that is like I'm hyped to read it still. I gotta read it. I looked at my watch earlier. We're recording this on the 15th of February. This will go up in a couple of days. Hopefully I'll read it by then. But when we were talking about that, like I was super hyped to read this Michelangelo Lost Years story is what I thought it was. And then I saw the new Turtles and I was like, is this the same? Is it both? What are they going to do? And that excites me because if we get a Last Ronin 2 and it's following these new 4 turtles, maybe we'll get a. I want mini series like micro. Remember the micro comics, the micro
Of course.
series. I want I want like the Leonardo story that took place separately. I don't want to
Yeah,
like
we
mix
were
it into
just
a Last
talking
Ronin.
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we
want to
just
mix in the
had
Lost Years. I want it separate. I want a meaty story that like leads up to the Casey and Leo fight.
yeah,
Like I want
yeah.
that.
I'm a big Leo guy, so like to me that's like holy crap, you know what's going on? And it's like I love like how they both went out because it's like Leo's always going to be the guy doing the sacrifice play, you know, and the
Right.
fact that Casey was there, it's like oh crap, you know, and then at the end when you see their spirits and all that, it's like Casey's there with them, and you're like yeah, you know. So I'm
Super
with you,
huge.
and we were just talking about this. We had an artist, Stephen King, on, and if you know the artist, not the author, but if you ever check him out, he's in the Bish Club as well. Great artist, great guy. And we were talking about the last Ronin and how it would be really great to see. It's like okay, Mikey found out about Donnie and Splinter, then he goes and talks to the people there, and it's like let's show that, let's show the aftermath of what happened there, and is he running from Oroko Hiroto and like all of that kind of stuff, and show a little bit more of like a flashback. It's like when they are pulling Raph out, we already have Ben Bishop doing the art. It's like he did that art. Like let's get some more of that. See what's going on. What happened from Mikey's perspective when they threw Splinter on the table for Thanksgiving? It's like show that. That's the kind of stuff it's like I want to see. I don't want to necessarily see like Michelangelo just like traversing through the Himalayas in the snow and all that. It's like that's all
Right.
well and good, but it's like let's fill in some of these gaps and then work with it.
Right. That cover, by the way, that Michelangelo cover for the Lost Years that Steve Levine
Hmm.
did with him in like the Himalayas,
That's
was
him and Jim Lawson, yeah.
yeah, him and Jim. Um, I feel like that cover was like that. Looked reminded me of that Donatello, that Playmates toy, where it was like the
Yes, yeah,
Arctic
the
Don.
Arctic Donnie.
Dude,
Yep.
I have to get that cover. Like that is a cover that I need to get.
Yeah.
But one
Is
thing I
that
really
Jetpack Comics, I think?
what was that?
Jetpack Comics
I
is the one
think
that has
so. I
that.
think so. I'm just gonna hit up Steve. I'm just gonna ask Steve for it. Like, hey man,
You
I
ask
need
Steve, ask
I
if
need a
he's got
call.
any more of those Peter Laird signed things, because that's what I'm looking for.
Dude, I did you see? I gotta go back to something, but did you see when I posted it in the party wagon a couple of weeks ago, where he was selling his like graded first prints of the Tom and I have held those. Whole
180,000,
dude,
right?
we were yeah,
Yeah.
they were it was like a 9.6 or a 9.8 or something, like
Yeah, that's
insane.
absurd.
And
You could buy a house with
dude,
that comic book.
it's insane. Um, yeah, dude, it's so cool. Like holding that, like it was just the craziest experience. And he got those directly from Peter because they're still super good friends. Like Peter and them still are super close, which is awesome. But what I
I've got to
wanted to,
watch that interview, the Ed Piskor one with Pete and Kevin still.
yeah, I gotta watch those. I want to watch that new thing Kevin's been posting. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about? Those new,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
yeah, I gotta watch those. I keep sharing them. I just haven't watched them yet. Well, I wanted to bring up, I brought this up, and this like for me, this means a shit ton. I told Ben this because I don't know if Ben recognized it. Right? Is that remember we all know we don't remember because a lot of us were too young how huge Turtles was. Like I wasn't even born yet, right? But how huge the first comic was and the second comic, and like how it was, it meant something, right? Like it became a phenomenon. I told this to Ben. Like I don't think he realizes it, but Last Ronin is that. Like Last Ronin
Oh yeah.
series is that in modern day, and I think that they and I know they are, but they need to continue to capitalize on it. It is just what it's just the way it is. Like I think Last Ronin is the biggest thing to happen for Turtles since it came out. 100%.
I
So
agree. It was the biggest comic book that was released in 2020. So it was bigger than what else was going on at that time. The Three Jokers, Death Metal, like all of that kind of stuff
yeah,
is bigger than that. They outsold everybody. And IDW has never had a book that did that ever.
no,
And it brought back, like you had said, the Turtles Renaissance. It's like, why do you think the number one game from June through I don't know when so October of last year was Shredder's Revenge? And the movies are huge. There's stuff coming out. There was Rise of the TMT, which just came out. Their movie, and even if that's not your thing, it's like you can't go anywhere now without seeing some sort of influence that Turtles is back. and it's
Yeah,
huge because
it is. It's just
there's
it's
nothing like it.
yeah, it's huge. It's and like we're all adults now. We have money. We could buy the shit. So we're gonna keep it
Yeah.
going. We're gonna keep feeding into that cash cow regardless. So we're gonna keep it alive. And then hopefully, with all the kids that are growing up on Rise, they will be us in 30 plus years. So
And my
we'll see
kids
how it
grew
goes.
up on the 2012 version, that version from Nickelodeon. So
That's my favorite, by the way. Favorite
it's
TV series of them.
I would not disagree with that at all because it's the first one that made them human. It's the first one that took it and it's like, okay, this is a deep character. Like Donatello here has like three-dimensional feelings and things like that. And it's like Raph's the same thing and Leo and all of them are distinct and different and they go into every aspect of their personalities. And people that swear by the 2003 series, I'm like, yes, it's comic accurate, but there's always going to be a storyline that's this is the return from New York or City at War. There are always going to be those, versus the Shredder. Always the same thing. What do they do after they fight the Shredder? They go into space, or now they're
Yeah.
doing like a space race or something like that, and they've got David Tennant doing the voice of the Fugitoid and stuff like that. I'm like, whatever you want out of like Turtles is in this series. You got Usagi Yojimbo. You've got like the Mad Max story. The Armageddon in the future where Donnie's a robot and stuff. It's like
Right.
it's so deep. It's just amazing.
It's very good. The way that I look at it is the original series that we grew up on was only written and made to sell the toys, as the 80s
Yeah.
were, right? So there wasn't a lot of thought that went into it. Then you go to 2012, and they reimagining of those stories with better writers, arguably better writers, more love. The people that were doing that show, definitely you could tell that they grew up on Turtles. They fleshed it out and they made it more. I always call it like a Tarantino effect. I think Quentin Tarantino is one of the best like storytellers in modern film. Guy's kind of a douchebag, but the way that he writes his stories, there's a lot of good narrative, a lot of deep thought, and I feel like that's what they did with 2012, and that's why it's my favorite. Do I like the designs? Not as much, but when it comes down to the pure content and the storyline and the character development, and they fleshed out each individual person, it's my favorite one. I love watching it and I enjoy it. Where if I watch the old 87, I'm kind of like cringing at it a little bit. Like, it's kind of lame.
But it's
Kind of dumb.
formulaic too. It's like, okay, here's the thing. They're going to start out this way. April's going to get captured. They're going to capture. They're going to have
Yeah.
to fix that, and then by the end, they've killed the giant plant mutant, and there's a joke. It's like, okay, it's kind of like that. This one's different. They may have an episode like that, but it's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guest stars that they've had on this, like bringing back people like Robbie Riss to do, the Michelangelo voice from the movies. Like now he's going to come and he's going to do Mondo Gecko, or Robert Englund doing the voice of the Dream Beaver. Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Or just Rob Paulson doing the voice of Donatello instead of Raphael. So like that was cool as hell. But yeah, I love that. I love that series, man. It's so good. I think my favorite cameo was the Napoleon Bonafrog.
Yeah, John
by,
Hader.
John Hader, yeah. So it was Napoleon
really
playing
cool.
Napoleon. I thought that was incredible. It was so stupid, but so funny. So I love it. But we'll let everybody go for the rest of the night. Like we'll wrap this up. We've been recording for a little bit of time. We'll have some more episodes with Justin, and maybe Eric will throw in here soon as well when Eric is not eating dinner or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, he's cooking dinner, I think. So yeah, Eric is Eric's a chef, and I mean he makes some cool stuff. Like a lot of times he'll show us and be like, "Oh, check it out! I made this this roast, and it's like completely covered in bacon." And it's like you look at it, and it looks like a lattice on a pie made with bacon, and it's like a 360-degree spear. And I'm like, "You're a friggin' wizard, dude! Like, how do you even do this?" Oh yeah, And Eric is the dude that you have to know if you're looking for a cover, right? So you say like you're looking for one of those Sin City variant covers, like you've got the print up there, or you're looking for this particular Ronin cover or something like that. Eric is the dude to know. There's two guys like that. Shout out to our other buddy Rob Denner, who is that other guy. But Eric is that other dude, and it's like you ask him and be like, hey, where can I get an Aaron Bartling number 1 9.8? He knows. He always knows. So it's like if you're looking for comics, man, he knows, and he doesn't have them. He doesn't sell them. He just knows it. So
That's a good friend to have.
Oh,
I
definitely.
I was definitely looking for that whatever that Justin Roiland print was from the last Ronin, but
Yeah,
I
those we were just talking about those because those are the only ones I didn't get,
yeah.
and now you're going to be able to find them. I'm sure, super cheap.
I'm
And
kind of yeah. I'm kind of I'm teetering that line. Like I'm not stoked of what happened, and
the
do I really
Eastman.
want anything Justin Roiland now? So
Well, ask yourself this: if it's something like that, and you're thinking you're like, oh, I don't want to support this guy. You're not.
I'm not.
The
No, I'm supporting definitely
money's already
resale.
been
Yeah,
paid. He already has money. So what? If it's something that you like and it's going to represent something awful for you, don't get it.
yeah,
But otherwise, like I tell people, I'm like, hey, if it's there and it's something that you like and you wanted it, you don't have to necessarily be supporting him because if you buy that book from someone, the money's already been paid. He's not getting
yeah,
a cent
yeah.
from it.
I definitely agree.
And Kevin Eastman's fan club has them. If you go to that
Yeah,
on
they
there,
do. I keep seeing it pop up and I keep forgetting about it. I gotta start joining all the clubs. I'm in Ben Bishop's Bish Kids Club.
hopefully you
Whatever.
get the box that's coming. So that'll be out I think this month.
Oh, there you go. I have to
He
keep an eye out.
delayed it because there was some spoilers for the Lost Years in it. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to see what we get. But yeah, I'll do I gotta do the Kevin Eastman one regardless. Doesn't hurt.
well, I mean, hurts the wallet, but other than that, yeah. In our Facebook group, Epic Shells, we gave away last year a membership to the Kevin Eastman fan club. So Fiona hooked us up over there. She's the admin, and every year we do a Halloween costume contest. And last year's winner got a full year subscription.
Oh, well, I might have to steal your idea, and we can double whammy that this year if you do it as well. We'll try to do one as well. So I'm pretty sure I've met Fiona. I might
Oh,
have.
cool.
I met the whole crew. So I just don't remember names. I remember Courtney, his
Yeah,
wife,
Courtney.
and
Courtney is
everything.
fantastic.
so,
You know,
so that's awesome. But I appreciate you jumping on. We tried to schedule this for last week. We missed it. Thankfully, we were able to get it done this week, just in time for our Monday release. So this will be sick. And then we'll have you back soon. Does that sound good?
yeah, man, I'm around, so I'm not hard to get.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you, Justin, for joining in. If you have not already checked it out, check out Epic Tales from the Sewers. Tom Bowman's already done a video on there, that Bull Airs episode, so go check that out. Epic Shells, you said Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook Epic Shells.
Yeah, go check that out, and then check out the Party Wagon, of course, TMNT Party
Yeah.
Wagon. Why are you not there already? Why are you not there?
Why aren't you there?
So come join, hang out. I got to do a giveaway here soon. It's been a while. So hell yeah. Thanks for joining, man. And I'll catch everybody in 2 weeks.